Yeah, I've been doing a lot of retail therapy lately. Y'all like my outfit? All right, I got it from this store called Cross Dress for Less. Thought that joke was right on target. Want to see what I got from Victoria's Secret? Too bad they kicked me out. We don't have a big and tall section, sir. So I know I look a little different. Let's talk about that real quick. You may have noticed that I am a little bald. My preferred euphemisms are chrome dome and cue ball. Just so there's no confusion, let's get everybody's pronouns here real quick. Sir, can I get your pronoun? Are you like a big dog? Hoss? Chief? No? Chief, all right. And you, ma'am, Queen, I'm sure? Of course. There's been a lot of news lately. You guys heard about the spaceship, the all-female space flight that Marcos talked about a few minutes ago. They've received a little criticism for only being in space for like 4 minutes. And fellas, this might be our fault. Like, you can see why women might think that 4 minutes is a long ride. I knew only half y'all would think that was funny, but I liked it. The Country Music Awards Association Awards is coming to Frisco at the Star 2 days from now, May 9th. And if you're not familiar, the Star is where the Dallas Cowboys practice. And I can't think of a better place to hold the Country Music Awards than a Dallas Cowboys stadium. Neither one of them have been any good since the 90s. Aww. I've had some car trouble this week. New cars are so complicated, right? They have all kinds of newfangled technology, and I don't know what to do. And this is what happens when you forget to change your gender fluid. Ba-dum-bum. My sexuality is one of those newfangled Gen Z terms. Y'all may not have heard of it. It's called all of the above. Anyway, so I grew up, I come from a very religious family. You're all shocked, I can tell. I come from the kind of people who put the fun in fundamentalism. Let's see what's going on. I went to public school in the 80s and 90s. Anybody here from that genre of? All right, my millennials in the house. I feel like the education back then was heavily influenced by the good psychedelic drugs. Yeah, you guys also learned your ABCs from a giant yellow talking bird? All right, I know I learned my ABCs from an OCD vampire. One laugh, two laughs, three laughs, That's as far as I got. My neighbor got a new Brodozer truck the other day. You guys know the kind of trucks I'm talking about, right? He has a truck that's he has these giant wheels and tires. The exhaust sounds like a redneck mating call. He even has the truck nuts in the back, so that everybody knows it's a boy truck. I'm not touching a nerve here, am I? You guys have some big trucks? You can't be a chief and drive you gotta be a big dog and drive a big truck. This joke's really funny. Anyway, I had to do the man thing with him and stand in the yard and stare at it and drink a beer. And it was awkward because my stilettos kept sinking into the dirt. And he kept going on about his lifted Power Stroke 4x4 parking lot destroyer. And I finally said, listen, this looks like something a drag queen would drive. And he looked at me like you're looking at me now. And I said, no, seriously, they're kind of the same thing, right? It's like everything sparkles. They're usually a really good time to party with, and sometimes you can see their balls in the back. All right, I got one last thing for you guys. This one's kind of touchy for me. Anybody here been bullied for, how you look, dress, act? Yeah, truck you drive, anything? I'll buy you a drink after the show. Not in that kind of way. Anyway, sometimes people say mean things to me, and I'm too old to get into bar fights and do shenanigans like that. I'm a de-escalating kind of guy. So I just usually say something like, listen, those are some very mean and some very hurtful words. Come on from someone who Someone who sure does have a real pretty mouth. You gonna squeal like a pig tonight, boy? I'll be your Huckleberry. Hey, you all have been a fantastic crowd tonight. My name is Aaron Stout.